Hello everyone. Today I am going to present before you an essay on public interest litigation in India. Public interest litigation (PIL) is a tool by which a public spirited citizen or social justice organizations can seek remedy from the competent court where any of the constitutional rights, mainly the fundamental rights of any citizens, have been encroached or infringed by the state or any other authority on behalf of that citizen or for common cause. The courts in India have shown positive interest while entertaining PIL. It is a dynamic approach indeed. PIL is filed before the court not for the object of enforcing any individual's rights against another, but it is intended to promote and highlight public interest which demands that encroachment of constitutional rights or legal rights of people who cannot afford litigation, being in economically or socially disadvantaged status, and that their injury should not go unnoticed or unheard. Public interest litigation is a challenge and also an opportunity to the governments and its personnel to make fundamental human rights purposeful to the poor and deprived people, thus to provide them economic and social justice, which is the essential most element of our constitution. Tendency to file public interest litigation should be welcomed by the government and its personnel because it provides them an opportunity to ensure that the poor or downtrodden are getting their economic and social entitlement. While the court entertains the public interest litigation, it attempts to ensure that social and economic programs are reached to the poor. In order, in other words, the court is merely assisting in the realization of constitutional objectives. And a public interest litigation comes up where any person or class of persons is, by reason of poverty, helplessness, or disability, or social or economic disadvantage, incapable to approach the court for reliefs. For such member of public or at an instance of public spirited citizens, an application for appropriate direction, order, or writ in Supreme Court under Article 32 and under Article 226 before the High Court can be filed with a view to seek judicial redress for legal wrong or injury caused to such person or to a class of persons. However, the individual or public spirited citizens who move the court for judicial redress relief in cases of PIL must be acting bona fide with a view to vindicating the cause of justice. The traditional rule of locus standi that a petition under Article 32 of the Constitution can only be filed by a person whose fundamental right is violated has now been considerably relaxed by the Supreme Court in its recent rulings. Now, the court allows the PIL at an instance of public or spirited citizens for the enforcement of constitutional rights or legal rights of any person or class of persons who are unable to make access to court to obtain relief. According to Justice Krishna Iyer of Supreme Court, access to justice through class action, public interest litigation and representative proceedings is a present constitutional jurisprudence. Therefore, in ABSK Sangh Railway versus Union of India, the Supreme Court has held that Akhil Bharatiya Shoshit Karmchari Sangh RLY, though an unregistered association, could maintain a writ petition under Article 32 for for the redressal of common grievance. However, the ruling regarding the PIL has been established by the 7-member bench of Supreme Court in Judges Transfer case. It was held that any member of public having sufficient interest can make access to court for enforcing legal rights or constitutional rights of other persons and for redressal of common grievance. On the following ground, a PIL can be filed. First, where there is a breach of fundamental rights. Second, where there is a violation of any constitutional rights or legal rights of an individual or group of persons. Third, by the reason of poverty, helplessness, or disability, or socially or economically disadvantaged position unable to approach the court for relief. Fourth, the Supreme Court will readily respond to a letter addressed by such individual acting pro bono publico. Fifth, the court may cast aside the technical rules of procedure in exercise of its dispensing power and treat the letter of public minded individual as a writ petition and act upon it. Abuse of PIL. The Supreme Court of India has adopted the dynamic approach while entertaining the PIL litigation. However, the court expressed a note of caution also because there are instances when the liberal rule of locus standi have been misused by so-called interested persons. In words of Justice P.N. Bhagwati, we must conduct to see that a member of public who approaches the court in a case of its kind is acting bona fide and not for personal gain or private profit or political motivation or other oblique consideration. The court must not allow its process to be abused by politicians and others. It means the Supreme Court is aware that this liberal rule of locus standi is likely to be abused for sake of personal gain or for political gain. For example, in Janata Dal versus H.S. Chaudhary, the court found that petitioner tried to abuse the public interest litigation for political purpose. In another case, Krishnaswamy versus petitioners versus Union of India, the Supreme Court by 4:1 majority held that petitioners had no locus standi to file the petition, as the petitioners have no public purpose in filing the petition. Similarly, in Janata Dal case, the Supreme Court held that petitioners have no locus standi to file the petition as they were a total stranger to the prosecution, and more than that, they were not even authorized by the convicts. The Supreme Court has widened the scope of public interest litigation under Article 32 of the Constitution. In M.C. Mehta's case, the court has held that the poor in India can seek enforcement of their fundamental rights from the Supreme Court by writing a letter to any judge. Such a letter does not have to be accompanied by an affidavit. The new approach to locus standi is to be lauded, but at the same time, the court has to ensure that remedy is not abused by vested interest. There are a number of instances when court has issued appropriate writs, orders, and directions on basis of PIL or special action litigation (SAL). These are Bihar blinding case, flesh trade in protective house of Agra, abolition of bonded labor and protection of environmental and ecology, and injustice done to children in jail, etc. It is true that the broad view of liberal rule of locus standi is a new progressive judicial gesture which is to be welcomed. The court, with the object to provide relief to a poor or socially or economically handicapped person or group of persons, has dealt with PIL for a common cause. But this judicial trend invited criticism on ground that by entertaining violation of fundamental rights through a letter, the court will be flooded with the litigations resulting in delay in deciding many other important cases. Another reason for criticism is that courts' interference by way of PIL in the field of executive and legislature are likely to cause tug of war between the three organs of government. Although this criticism has been befittingly answered by Justice P.N. Bhagwati of Supreme Court, and according to him, Article 144 of Constitution states that all the authorities, civil and judicial, in territory of India shall act in aid of Supreme Court. If any of these authorities fail to carry out orders of court, the court can punish them for the contempt of court. Thus, the enforcement of orders and directions issued in response to public interest litigation have to be complied by the executive state and by other functionaries. Importance of PIL cannot be ignored in our country because sometimes even law protecting agencies like police are involved in violation of fundamental rights of citizens. Lethargic governmental machinery is a boon to law violators. We have a large number of human rights violation cases in our country, and in most of these cases, it has been noticed that the victim has no adequate means to seek the appropriate relief from courts. It is therefore necessary that public spirited citizens or social justice organizations should come forward to bring the matter to the notice of the courts. However, the Supreme Court and the High Courts have shown their concern for poor. In Mohanlal Sharma versus State of UP, the Supreme Court has treated a telegram as a writ petition. In the telegram, which was sent to court, the petitioner alleged that his son was murdered in the police lockup. The court directed and handed over the case to CBI for thorough investigation and submit the report to the court. Thank you. I hope this essay will be of help to all the law students as well as the civilians. Thank you very much.